everyone. Hey, and welcome back to yet another episode of Battle Rap Resume. This is your host, Tom. Thank you so much for joining me. Today we are doing a type of episode that I love to do. This is the Fancast, where we get someone who's a fan of battle rap and we just sort of hash it out. We talk about what they're into and all general stuff. We've got a bit of a twist today, actually, because this episode is going to end with myself battling the fan in hand. I'll sort of explain that and how that came about in a second. Before we get into that, though, please, can you help the show in any way, help to support the show? You can do that in multiple directions. You can follow us on Twitter if you want about the news about Resume, the episodes coming out. Send us messages on there. You can also send us messages through email, battlerapresume@gmail.com. Please also subscribe to us on YouTube, subscribe to us on iTunes, give us a review. Go on to the Patreon, which I'm sure we'll mention quite a bit in this episode, patreon.com/battlerapresume if you want to help support the show to a higher degree. You can go on there. You can, get access to exclusive episodes. You can listen to Battle Rap Resume episodes before they come out. You can even maybe battle me, through that as well, which I'm sure we'll elaborate on soon. Please also check out our Redbubble shop, redbubble.com/Battle Rap Resume. You get loads of merchandise and such on there. But, this is going to be a very interesting episode, an episode for the ages here. And I'm joined by a good friend of the show, Joker. How's it going, man?
All right, man. How are you?
I'm very well. And we are going to be duking it out verbally at the end of this episode. And I should explain then, just so this came about through the Patreon. Obviously we have the Battle Resume Patreon, as I say. There are free rewards on the Patreon. We have the initial reward, which is a top tier reward, which basically gives you access to the Patreon feed and resume review and sort of extra stuff like that. Then we have the bootlegger tier, which gets you access to the Battle Rap Resume, ironically named, the Battle Rap Resume episodes, the sort of access to that. And then we have the opponent tier, which I kind of put it up there. When I was doing research for the Patreon, a lot of people on YouTube and stuff were saying, do your tiers, do like 2 or 3, and then just put something slightly more extravagant on the third. If people want to give back, you put something ridiculous there, and maybe, you see it a lot on, say, films that go on Patreon. It's like the top tier, you can direct the movie, and you know what I mean? I don't know, something like that. They offer something ridiculous there. And in this one, I stated Soliloquy, if you donate, to the toppest of top tiers, will come out of retirement and battle you. And Joe, Joker, you did precisely that, man.
I did. It was a bit of a stiff price, but I thought, you obviously think a lot of your battling talents, but it could be worth it in the end. So why not?
I appreciate that, man. And I guess without inflating the ego too much, you must be quite the fan of Battle Rap Resume to go through that.
Oh, quite. Yeah, I discovered it probably mid last year, probably a year ago or so. And I've been into battle rap for probably about a year before that, and just the long form content, running over bars, chatting with the creatives about what's going on. Find it very interesting. So, you've helped me kill many hours sitting alone in my studio. So, I thought, why not? We'll give some back and help push it forward.
I appreciate that, man. And obviously, subsequently through the show, we've exchanged emails and phone calls and stuff, and it's been great, really. It's been awesome to sort of go back and forth. But I don't really know your sort of battle rap journey in depth, really. You say you've been into it for, I guess, about 2 years now. I mean, what was the first spark that got you into it? The first video, or?
Well, I mean, originally I was writing lyrics back in 2008. And did a couple of piss around battles with a guy at work, that sort of thing. But actually watching battle rap, I was shown a small battle. I'm not sure how many people have seen it. Fella called Mark Grist against Blizzard, is it?
That's something along those lines, yeah.
Yeah. I got shown that, and it's quite a remedial introduction, but. Saw Grist and was just like, Jesus Christ, this is it's like nothing I've seen before. So got on that and sort of saw Mark Grist Nameless as well.
Oh, right, yeah.
Good battle, some great stuff in there. But because it was so self-referential to the scene, I kind of went off the boil for a little. I was in Australia for a while doing some stuff. And whatever. And when I got back to England, I sort of looked back up Mark Grist and went through his battles. As you do, you go down the trail. Saw Mark Grist and Mixie versus Wizard and Scissor. Oh yeah, that is one thing actually. He's not called fucking Shizaz.
Yeah,
he's not. He's not. He's called even her says scissors. So you should follow that.
Yeah. A lot of people have called me out that I say that wrong, and I am sorry, listening public.
No, I couldn't write anything into bars about it, so I just thought I'd say it.
That's the thing. Like, I am obviously, because there is so much Battle Resume out there, and you said this before we were talking. Like, I guess there's a lot of my life in the show, whether I'm conscious of putting it out there or not. So I'm nervous, slightly excited to see what you come up with, I suppose.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it covers a wide spectrum.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw Wizard and Shiz. Saw them do Mark Ruston Mixie, and then the next battle I seem to remember watching was Villain versus DK. And from that point went through sort of like Definition, Pamphlet.
Yeah,
got into like Harry Baker.
Of course.
Was like, wow, this is doing something different. And then found Calcium Kid as well. Went through like Innuendo, O'Shea, all that stuff. And what one guy I really liked on the freestyle was Dots.
Yeah.
Really got into Dots quite a bit. But yeah, that was one of my favorite sort of late edition was Bobby Rex.
Yes.
Really enjoy his stuff. So.
And I mean, but are you mostly UK fandom based or?
Pretty much. I'm not massively into hour-long battles
right.
or sort of thing. It's for me more. It's more relatable things like UK battling and references that I get, because if it's stuff that's going over my head the whole time, which a lot of gun references do.
Yeah.
But
yeah. It comes with time, I think. I mean, and it might not do. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it or anything like that. It's just kind of, I tend to watch kind of across leagues, like I'm sure a lot of people do. But it kind of took me a few years to sort of have that confident grounding in domestic battle rap to kind of go. I think some of the King of the Dot stuff is a little bit more accessible, especially stuff in Canada. But yeah, I know what you're saying. It can be a little bit bewildering there, and it's such a wonderful thing, isn't it? When it's kind of like when you get into a band and you realise. So when I got into Tom Waits, for example, when I was like 17, I was like, fuck, he's got like 13 albums, and I love them all. It's like with battling, it's kind of like that, but a macrocosm, because each battler effectively has their own discography.
Oh, it's exactly like music in that sense.
Yeah.
That in the time that we've been speaking now, someone's released an album or someone's put out a battle.
Yeah.
Somewhere in the world, there's something added to it. It's infinite, really. As long as people keep doing it, it's amazing, really.
And I mean, you mentioned people like Calcium and Harry Baker, and is that the kind of slant you like that kind of slightly surrealistic wordplay and?
Oh, certainly like surreal references, more deadpan, dry delivery. That's certainly more my boat. I've seen stuff like King of the Dot. I've seen plenty of battles going on there. I primarily stopped watching King of the Dot because Bishop Brigante will not stop banging on about that fucking mirror.
Yeah.
So I thought, draw a line under that,
Right. Bishop's going to be on the show soon, actually.
Is he? That will be a fascinating episode.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I don't know if you're so aware, but he goes back. Like him and Organic were like a doubles team in the WRCs in 07, and Bishop, one of the few battlers that can boast, he's got his own IMDb page.
Oh, right, okay.
I think he's been on a few like Canadian B movies and shit. So yeah, and apparently he had a bet with Drake, and like he won Drake's watch when he was like apparently it's an anecdote that he always talks about. So I've heard through the grapevine. So yeah, but we're not here to talk about Bishop, Joe. We're here to talk about yourself, and obviously we're gonna get into the battle shortly. Yourself, is there any leanings towards actually wanting to actually battle, or is it more just a kind of fun thing to write?
Yeah, I mean, I more thought when I saw the donation tier, I thought, well, that'll be fun. And I thought the best place to do it, would be to come onto your platform and mug you off on what you've created.
Yeah.
Well, that'd probably be the most appropriate and damning cutting experience. So, well, yeah, I don't really have any desire to battle.
No.
Really, I do visual art for not a living, but like a hobby.
Yeah.
So most of my time goes with that. So I don't, I've had enough trouble writing for this and getting this. Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, we're going to be doing this battle then. I'm going to go first. I'm going to be delivering. We're going to just go round for round, one round sort of thing. So I guess you'll have capacity for rebuttals. If they so choose, but I mean, I can't imagine this. And it is a slightly more relaxed atmosphere here. We'll be reading these bars. Maybe one day we can have a visual accompaniment. I'm not sure. It depends if this is an absolute disaster, because who knows. But nonetheless, so
yeah. It won't be. You're going to get your ass handed to you like a skin graft.
Let's go. So yeah, I mean, should I just get into my round?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay, this is Soliloquy. Soliloquy. This is crazy. I mean, haven't battled since 142, which was like coming up to like 2 years ago now. So that was quite a while ago. But anyway, first round. Look, you really love this show, and I do too. I can respect that. And if you dig it, give us a follow, leave an iTunes review, maybe even a donation if you want to reflect that. But you genuinely have a battle rap resume notebook. And I've got to dissect that. You do, don't you?
You sell them.
You genuinely have a battle rap resume notebook. I've got to dissect that, because in my horizon, I see a horizon about to show you why I'm the mainstay. Josie A, you're about to pay the ultimate price. Like patreon.com/battle rap resume. You're about to be the first fantasy that beating Soliloquy is a fantasy, and you're obsessed with me, so monomaniacal I fear it'll grow homicidal. This stark raving bad man is like Mark David Chapman, and in and in memory of Lennon, I'm taking my penance, but it's no longer the genius being killed by the clown. Imagine. Now it's the other way round, because whatever you've got, I've got a sicker plan. Podcast superstar. I've been using the net to make money off the stream like a fisherman. Some of which came from you. And whilst privately me and my family say thanks, right now in this ring, I've got to say, what the fuck did you do? Pay for a battle with me on a podcast. You could have got DNA for a little bit more, but now it's World Cup replays. You already know the score. Summer exhibition. I'm putting out for show this amateur painter. You paid good money to sweat for this body like a personal trainer. You waved a red flag to a bison. Such a big suck up, but now you're gonna die, son. I got personality and perfection. I'm cutting you no slack. This is a triceratops. That's a three-pronged attack. To have the audacity to stand to me, a beating is what you deserve, and a beating is what you're getting. This fan's about to cool off. Like I pressed a lower setting. We could have done this the right way, and I just sent you an autograph, but this fan's got it backwards, and now he's just looking naff. I'm an innovator. You're barely getting off the ground like a levitator. Watch me push this G and send him to the ground floor like an elevator. Little man against the establishment. I'm putting my foot on this insurrection. Gonna disembody, man. This is a disembodiment like astral projection, and you're called Joker. You're called Josie, but really it's Joker, like Tally said Joe Carr, and it's your actual title, changed by Deepold all the same. So I ask you, how the fuck do I do name flips on someone that's already flipped his name? I sell tickets. I'm a hall filler. I'll switch the name around to ACOJ just to show you I'm a cool killer, and I've seen your art because you sent me some without me asking. You're just average Joe. Bland tasting. No one will get a couple, Joe. You can't really paint a picture, and writing-wise, your structure's in the open like conceptual art. When people listen back, this is really gonna hurt. When they see the state I leave M in. I'm heavy-footed, but you're a ballerina in comparison. I'm the god. Anyone that says any different. These many lines all suggest progression and movement. That's how you make an impression. Jeez, I fucked your mother in a surreal position. You should have seen the scenes after me and your Marguerite. Holding on to the show, just a beggy sidekick. This man's Finchy. I'm the real artist. Pen circles around men on paper like Da Vinci. And even if you beat me fair and square, I can have you choking and stumbling and no one would ever know that an edit had been there. Time.
Excellent shit, bro.
All right. So that was, obviously my delivery and the structure's a little bit spotty in places, but yeah, that's what I went for, man. But please proceed.
That was pure soliloquy.
Yeah. Yeah. For Battle
All
Wars.
right, you ready?
Mm.
Sorry, kiddo. Like Johnny Global, you think you can beat me. So you're all cordially invited to be audibly excited. I'm Joker. So it's JC versus Filler. Count Basie versus Spiller. Tasty versus Vanilla. This is battle rape. What I plan to do is spit bars on Andy Kaufman and Shannon Hoon to Man on the Moon. In space, no rain can hear you scheme. When this battle got confirmed, I got an inbox from HK. It was pretty short and it was quite offensive, really. He wanted to know my opponent, so I didn't even name you, homie. I just sent him the beige emoji. I mean, you were never in retirement. You're just a tired cunt. This bit is clever. You're the shittest ever, like British weather. And you need to stop saying meta. Like, yeah, you have to, especially metaness. It's not a thing. I'll replace your Listerine with Mr. Sheen. No, Charlie. You're not a rap battler. You're a rap bickerer. Now, you look like a shit Lego man. And you sound like a shit Lego man. You look like you just lost your job at Varsity. You look like Fozzie. You look like you eat pine nuts as a snack. You look like 56 guys I went to school with in the 90s. You look like George Harrison. Does now. This beleaguered feeble beetle is also a member of the Bitch Boys. This bleeding heart of a depleted artist resembles a completely starving Dimitri Martin. A half-bent Clark Kent. Or Clark Cunt. And Tom Quee's ex looks like Bobby Rex. I mean, you were so late for this battle. You kept getting the wrong date like Uncle Tone's next in line hat. You couldn't even relate to your own schedule at that. I mean, I've sat on these bars for that long. I've started to get piles. For the victor, we shall have to see. But one thing's for certain, you live a life of latency. You support Leighton Orient, despite the fact your favourite players are Leighton Baines and Jim Leighton. You get all dressed up in latex to go to the local, but even your pay was late, so all your drinks had to go on the slate. Upon your arrival home, you didn't get laid as you were far too waylaid, so instead filled in your application to the Church of Latter-day Saints and settled down to watch your favourite shows, Later with Jules Holland and The Late Show with David Letterman. Although you missed the start of both, you know. After falling asleep with the newspaper over your face, you rose belatedly to find quite some headlines. This news just in. Tom woke up behind the times. Nice. Yeah, there's some... Right, here we go. You're a lackluster crap busker. I'm Heinz 2.0. New mustard. No Warren Buffett. Flustered and at your last stand. General Custer. This utter gutter sniper sussed a platform upon which to bang on and on and on. Like a filibuster. You're an also-ran and also a morsel of a man. I'll check your pockets before I wash you out and then put tissues in your pockets before you wash them out. Because that'd be an inconvenience for you. Yeah. I was going to write you a haiku, but I don't even like you. Your bars are like your own bed, rightfully slept on. Looking like a long-forgotten rock-bottom.cotton on rotten.com. Well, rotten.tom, I suppose. All right. So you have been concerned about the podcast being too much of an angle in a battle. I hate to tell you this, mate, but you're the angle. Now, for this battle, shit back and forth, whatever. I was going to wear the Battle Rap Resume t-shirt that was promised as part of my donation, but almost 5 months later, I still ain't got it. It would seem that your t-shirt policy needs some rework, obviously. Speaking of obviously, listen to me, Soliloquy. You're the epitome of a shit MC, with visual imagery similar to crippling dysentery. Visibly, he's risible physically, with abysmal delivery. It's silly to me how you're the shittest G within this syzygy. Literally. When he battles, glances at the camera quizzically, leaving me sinking in misery. He's always missed the beat. He's as irritating as blistered feet. ever off tempo and like Crispy 3 and something about Mr. T with setups basic like Pictionary. Omqui has Mr. T and your mother's pissed because you missed your tea. I bet you wank over the dictionary. You love sucking dicks, won't shun any. When you sing on the pod, 'tis like the high notes from the Temple of the Dog. Oh, wait, hang on a minute, I can't even read my own writing. Oh, yeah, when you sing on the pod, the high notes resemble a dog. Carrying on with the pod being a source of your idiocy, on the Sleepy G Kovu episode, you added to a trivial observation of your own by stating, sorry, I'm just picking hairs. Picking hairs? What are you on about? And when you were interviewing Villain, were you eating crisps? Pretty sure you were eating crisps. I think I even heard a Pringles tub go on the floor. Was it Paprika Pringles, was it? Was it no? Okay, right. Also, when he said that he loved Jill Scott Heron, you mistook that for Jill Scott Bellend. You've also said, most battlers make not great music. Let me just let that sizzle for a minute there. In the description for their episodes, I could tell that you'd really thought about multi-magician and jovial journalist for Shuffle T and Pete Cashmore, respectively. You know, nice alliteration, relevant meanings. However, Martin Richards was described as big fan. Poor. That is poor. You love podcasts so much, you only listen to POD and Cast.
Right.
In the Shuffle T episode, your Live Winter impression made me want to give into depression. On a different episode, in reference to Shuff, you said, his writing is sensational, it goes without saying. I mean, come on, wasn't your degree in English? Now, pardon my French, but there's no acute accent present, so I have to assume that it's battle rap resume. And whenever you have him on, you seem to think that reciting soul to soul will bring you back to life. I rate you way below B.A. Baracus, Respect B.A. and Ackers, looking more shook up than an epileptic Elvis with maracas. Just to iterate, I rate you way below Ackers. After these verses are spilled, your hearse will be filled, and I practically paid for it, so I'd like the body bag back, washed and folded, please. I'm more in... Oh, for fuck's sake.
Sorry, I thought you were done. Please continue.
Damn! Oh, I'm not done yet, sunshine. Fuck you know. I'm more than implying he's shit when Quee's trying to spit. You think you can beat me? Flying pigs. You're all wavy like water diviner sticks. I'll get inside your ribs like Tyson Diggs, then run rings around you like Ryan Giggs. Or after Shocks is done with Soul, buy some bricks. Yeah. Get yourself some Lego, buy some bricks. Yeah. Right, here we go. This is so ramshackle. You do a podcast, you're an outcast. I've kept my info under wraps like Mossad's, so this soft twat's odd slant cannot last. You're bricking it so en masse, I'll ask for a hod, fast. I'm a constipated Steve McManaman, will not pass. Certainly not on a shot glass. And incidentally, you look like a young Steve Harkness. Your Torben picnic, taking orphans on a picnic. I might win it in the last minute like Jimmy Glass did and get your defences bombarded like John Barnes did and then take an E and a rush until I'm passed out. You guard the bars like Mike Hooper or Kevin Pressman. And the reason you only get average press, man? Your mediocre. I mean, Tom's a quitter. This problem child is going to exit early from this acting shit like John Ritter. Tanya. Your voice wouldn't break so much if you just gave your voice a break. I mean, you're in love with your own voice. You pester it. You buy it flowers, chocolates. Roses are red, sometimes. Violets are blue. Well, violet. Your voice is yours, and you love your own voice. You ask it on dates. You've pestered it so much, it's taken out a restraining order against you. If only. I should have only paid a pittance for this shit cunt's writtens. Now, I ain't blowing Chet Baker's trumpet here or anything, But since December 2016, I've donated $195 to Battle Rap Resume, which is equivalent to £155.21. Mm-hmm. Plus $39 VAT, which is £31.04. What the fuck? Do I help out the American fucking government now as well? Here you go, Carlisle Group. You're looking very shaky like the cover-up of The Death of Teriyaki. Have a few shillings on me. Why not? And Monsanto, they need to be gone, Santo. They've made it so it's buy farm, sell farm. Now that's very cute, but be aware the many truths of Lenny Bruce. Or is it any use to call an enemy truce? Through to the vicious spits of Bill Hicks, this shit still sticks. And at this point, I mean, large sections of this haven't rhymed anyway, but I'm going to break off and just say if anyone listening to this is worried about global control, Bilderberg, Bohemian Grove, all that stuff, one thing I learned from my journey into that rabbit hole is that if it changes you as a person, then it wins, even if you're protesting it, because that's what they're trying to do. So don't let them do that. But anyway, I don't use reverse psychology. I acquired a fellowship from the University of Elliott Smith. It was a bit pointless, really. All they taught me was how to drink lots and be depressed. But I achieved this degree, so now little Quee won't miss misery. And sweet, I'll add a line so you'll waltz to a new moon, you goon. And I'll teach thee a thesis on Tomesis through telefreaking kinesis. I arranged my breakfast into a face and took into eggs Dirk Benedict. This wannabe beat poet is an honestly weak opponent. He gets no spice from the girls because he's one of these wannabes. One of the, yeah. I bet this dyslexic wet shit drinks 6 Lemsips to get pissed. Also bet he never even had a snake bite. Or a cobra. Reptilian religion, my cock. Because it was only last but 1 week, I was invited to Tom Quee's. He arrived a half hour late, blushing, rushing, and all apologies. He asked, "You thirsty after the wait?" I replied, "Yeah, obviously." Unimpressed by his general competency, I was shown the drinks in the fridge, sighed and said, "I'll have a Boddington's, please." We began bombing some frees and chonging the strongest of trees, and after downing a few cans, Quee started gobbling cheese. With eyes as red as a sore arsehole, he staggered outside, and I noticed 2 anomalies. Tom's wobbly knees. So I followed these. Obviously trolleyed, I finally found him all green-faced, down at the bottom of the garden. Poddington peas. Although I have heard that you're a good freestyler at swimming. Right, Tom Quee. Well, this battle wasn't cheap. I only meant to donate 1p. I respect you nominally. You rap abominably. Tom Queen. Tom Queer. No. And surely I need not say Tom Queen. Oh, whoops. That's what I thought. A lot of your videos are comment-free. He floats along like pondweed with such little aplomb, he's a sorry oddity. A walking apology. Needs a song sheet when he's on beat. Red face looking as a commie's complexion. Second rate cooking like the commie chef's in. As tart as a cranberry, Tom Quee be a lingering zombie. I mean, everybody else is doing it, so why can't Quee? I'm street, no Corrie. You're street, no quality. You have a whack of flow than stack a bow. Here we go, down the drain. You're shit. You're shit. I'm always repeating myself. I'm always repeating and not finishing sentences. You're all roach and no Rizzlers. And I keep farting in high definition because I'm suffering from flatulence. I love Flack Sabbath. Flaxel Foley. You put the turd into Saturday. I bet you've never even heard of Wackaday, you young bastard. A sheep walks into this bar. I'm on that rogue shit. How I flow is closest to Thigh-Span Lear in focus. You're as hopeless as general election voters with a played soundscape like the Locust. Some people say I'm dismissive and swear too much, but they're just fucking cunts. Me and my mates, we spar together. You and your mates, shop at Spar together. You and your missus, go to the Spar together. Me and my missus, well, she doesn't exist. I'm involuntarily celibate, you voluntarily sell your butt. Is there any gin here for this engineer? Straight oncoming traffic, the engineers, Egyptian deities ending gin fears. With my engineers and motor mouth, I'm bending ears. This engineer's gonna engineer this so it ends in tears. Now, I don't have any dogs, but I have 2 dogs. They're called Pat and Stay. I Pat Stay, tell Pat to stay, and then Pat and Pat stays. Stay stays put, Pat stay, and then Pat and Stay go to see Pat Stay in the Batcave, and no one really knows what's going on. 4 non-blondes. And you listening, stop thinking I'm paranoid. You're a control freak. Wait, reduce the alacrity. You're a cunt, a troll, and a freak. Because this cunt is a cunt. He's the cunty type with his country life and a cunty wife. Quee's as sharp as a blunted knife. I mean, he's got his cunty stripes. To put it bluntly right, what an utter fucking cunty shite. You're a cunt. Just be up front. A fussy cunt. He's got a degree in cunt. If you just sneeze, he jumps. His whole steez is cunt. Count on the fact that he takes the O out of count. Trust me, he's a cunt. Anton Murphy level. So hush and be patient while I read this toolish eulogy, although upon reflection the intention has been schooling Quee. Time waits for no man, yet Tom waits for a man. Tom is a waste man, and Tom's weight is of no man. Although well read like toe jam, you'll still get clapped on like slow hand. You have no mega drive, so can't load the cartridge. That didn't rhyme, and I do not have a gun. But Tom Waits is no man, and Tom waits for the programme. So fly when I'm up here eating, Tom Waits alive. When I bought in for more than $5, like Nighthawks in the diner. Thinking about it, I might have been talking about myself this entire time. And cue your klaxon.
Yeah.
You know.
Dan DeMarco. Yeah. Fire, man. That was that was a treat. That was surreal, and I think you will get a T-shirt shortly. I'd like to apologise for my my mishap there. Like I just didn't realise, man. But that was dope. That was dope. What colour would you like?
Any that's not black or white.
Okay. Yeah. We can do that. But that was dope.
Are you going to ask me the resume questions?
Yes.
Is that going to get done?
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Like a lot of people, when I have them on the show, I ask them questions. They're like, "Oh, I've listened to the show, but I've never had a thought." But I'm guessing, we'll do the 5 as we always do. Although you've said you maybe don't watch a few international battles, but nonetheless, favorite don't flop battle, Joe.
Overall, I'd have to say for watchability that I enjoy is Bobby Rex versus Innuendo. I think that's sick. Absolutely sick. Innuendo's first, especially Bobby's, just all of Bobby's stuff. Fucking sick. But yeah, it's pure crowd control and mastery, I feel, from Bobby on that one.
Yeah, he was.
Love that. I love Double L versus Adam the Rapper. Sick battle.
Yeah, that is a great battle.
Lunacy and Matt Eddie P. Frisco. Bad boy.
Yeah.
Classic. Hearing you rattle on about it, Soul versus Matter.
Oh, Soul versus Matter, yeah.
Yeah, I've heard you talk about it.
Yeah. It is. I'm going to do a video soon on the channel, actually, on Soul versus Matter. It is, just to reiterate it further, it is my favourite. But yeah, the good choices, man. King of the Dart, I mean, I know you say you didn't watch much, but do you watch some, or?
I'd say probably Holohan, Pat Stay, Iron Solomon Diz for recent. In its place, I'd probably just put Filthy Phil HK, to be honest.
Right, I mean, why not? Why not? That is incredible battle. What about URL? Do you watch any URL, Joe? Or
I don't, as a matter of course, but you already know what my favourite URL battle is.
Do I?
You already know what it is.
Remind me.
Oh, it's JC Chiller.
JC Chiller. Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's got to be.
Yeah, I mean, I can watch that end to end relentlessly. I can't watch any other URL battle like that.
Yeah. I know what you mean. Yeah, it does have a magic that kind of most of them lack. But I mean, I have to recommend a few URLs for you in the future because there are some, some crazy talent over there. And what about your favorite film, man?
I'd have to say it's probably the Talking Heads concert film.
Stop Making Sense.
Yeah.
Jesus, I fucking shout out Jonathan Demme.
Oh man, that shit is off the charts. When he gets the fucking lamp out, it's just it's off the chain.
I mean, obviously Talking Heads is one of the greatest bands ever, no question in my eyes. But for anyone listening who doesn't know about the film, it's so innovative in the sense they're at the Pomp. I don't know what era they're at. They're at like mid-80s. Is it like Remain in Light era? Is it that kind
I think it's 84. I think it's 1984.
Yeah. And so basically how it works is the first song starts and David Byrne comes out with his guitar and a little sort of loop machine or whatever. And then as each song progresses, the bass comes out, the drum comes out, etc. Then about 10 songs in, you have just a full band just going at it. Like, it's crazy. Like, it's so inventive. And have you ever seen any Spalding Gray stuff?
I haven't, no. I'm not massively versed in the film world.
Yeah. Well, basically, Jonathan Demme, it was his follow-up film, and Spalding Gray was this kind of like, I don't know how to put it. He was kind of like a monologuist, like he did soliloquies, for want of a better word. And and he's got quite a famous one called Swing to Cambodia, and the whole film is him at this desk, this sort of grey-haired academic telling this sort of story about him in Cambodia, and it's absolutely brilliant. Like, I would check it out. But that's a great show actually, and I don't think anyone in the episodes has said a concert film before. I think that's a good choice.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's for me, it's just the best all-round thing to watch for like an hour and a half. As David Byrne describes in the extras to it, the whole thing builds up like an acid trip to the point where it's just this cacophony of joy. It's absolutely crazy, man.
Yeah. Oh, man. I fucking love Talking Heads as well. Incredible band. I mentioned Remain in Light before. That's one of my favourite albums. That is just a masterpiece. But what about your favourite? Getting onto music then. Your favourite artist or band that are in? We've spoken about music at length beforehand, so I know that you've got a lot of taste outside of hip hop and rap. Do you have like a favourite band or artist, non-hip hop or rap or?
I do indeed. It's Nottingham's Finest Iron Monkey.
Okay. Don't know that.
They've just got back together after 20 years of being out of the game. So the lead singer Johnny Morrow, rest in peace, brother. He died in 2002, and they'd broken up in like '99 or whichever, and they've just got back together, signed to Relapse Records. Just doing no one really knows much, but yeah, finest sludge sort of. Down-tuned bluesy riff was screaming that you can find, to be quite honest.
Yeah. I'm just on their Wikipedia now. Yeah, Nottingham-based, sludge metal. But okay, I'll have to check them out, man. That sounds awesome.
Also, Weather Report,
right?
Jaco Pastorius.
Yeah,
I'm all into like the jazz, like Charlie Parker, stuff like that. Bit of grindcore with Discordance Axis. Bit of punk with the Lunatics. Bastille, fucking love Bastille.
Oh right, there's a modern pick.
Oh, I love Bastille, man. Fucking excellent. Blind Melon, Snot.
Blind Melon.
It's Blind Melon. Oh, excellent.
Yeah. Crazy shit. We've spoken at length about grunge as well. Sort of early '90s singer-songwriter shit is just wonderful stuff. Great choices, man. A lot of people, because to be honest with you, a lot of people I ask on the show can't give an answer. Like, they just listen to hip hop and rap, which I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but it's nice to have sort of such eclectic mix there.
Well, I kind of did ask for it, and I kind of gathered it was going to come anyway. Can't take full credit,
No, of course, but. This has been a great episode, man. This has been, as I say, quite a surreal encounter, but a great one nonetheless.
Sweet as, bro. Yeah, same for you. Thanks for everything that you do with, Battle Rap Resume going on. It's great for the scene. I hear that you're becoming quite the celebrity at the events.
Wow.
Which is nice and well deserved as well, because you're putting in many fucking hours. Do you know what I mean? And
yeah. Thank you.
Just listening to the shows helped me through some times, man. Do you know what I mean? While I'm doing my stuff and that. So thanks very much for all that.
No, I appreciate that. It is. I do have that sensation sometimes when I'm recording an episode, and it's like, oh shit, people are going to listen to this, or because I listen to a lot of podcasts. I listen to a lot of like just obscure and big podcasts when I'm cooking tea or walking or doing whatever I do, sort of thing. And it's just weird the spread of these things and where they go. So it's nice to connect, I suppose, to a certain extent. And thank you to yourself, man. I really appreciate your continued support.
Oh, that's sweet, man. I'll continue listening every time. Be listening to Press One after this.
Oh yeah, the Press One. That was a good episode, actually. I thought that was a good interview.
Oh, good stuff. Yeah. Press, bad boy.
Oh, Press is the dude. Press is the dude, man. He's such
top on beat. I can't wait for Bill's Hour and Press One, man.
Did you see Press versus Innuendo?
I did, yeah. I got the pay-per-view. I got all that with got Harry Baker, Tony D as well. Harry Baker Optimus, which was a treat, and then just culminated the night with Shuffler versus Patter, which we need not say.
No, incredible. Don't Flop have been actually murdering it of late. But Joker, this has been great, man. Thank you very much.
Sweet, bro. All right. Take care, my man.